This is the first video in our data and statistics unit, and it is on populations and samples. A board game uses various letter tiles to form words. Each letter of the alphabet has at least one tile. Brandon groups the letters A, E, I, O, and U and states that they're a subset of that set. What set is Brandon referring to, and how do you know? Okay, vowels are a subset within all the letters of the alphabet. So vowels are a subset. And that's just saying vowels are in the alphabet. A small group. Within all the letters of the alphabet. So vowels are a subset within all the letters of the alphabet. Now samples, a sample is a subset of an entire group. It refers to a portion of the group with specific characteristics. Data collected from the sample is called a sample statistic. Populations. When collecting data, the population references the entire group. Data collected from the entire population is called a population statistic. Now let's look at some examples. The following statements are populations. Determine if the population sample that is a part of a population. People living in a specific neighborhood. All right. For example, I know in Reidsville we have a couple of these. The elderly people within the neighborhood. If we had a population of families with children, we might want to ask how many families have one child. So our example could be families with only one child. Okay, if we looked at the population seniors at East High School, an example or sample of that could be seniors who drive their cars. To East High School. All right, that's populations. That's populations, and then the data collected is the population statistics. Now, samples. Children who play football for the YMCA. That's a sample. So the population for that could be people who participate in YMCA programs. All right, our sample, next sample, students who are on the Be On roll for the first 9 weeks. And that's a sample. So if we looked at that, we'd be looking at all students enrolled during the first 9 weeks. That's the population. All right. And our last sample, households that have cable in the Riverside apartment complex. That's a sample. So the population there would be all residents or all households in the Riverside apartment complex. So that's the difference from going from population to a sample, and then from a sample to a population. Now, random samples, everyone in the population must have an equal chance of being selected in order for the sample to be random. Example, a survey is taken of favorite sports in 7th grade, but only girls are surveyed. This is not a random sample because everybody didn't have an equal chance. All right, now we're going to read the situations below, then determine if the various methods would produce a random sample. Justify your thinking in the space below. The senior class president would like to host an after-graduation lock-in. There will be games, gifts, and food. In order to decide if classmates would be willing to buy tickets and attend, she has decided to conduct a survey. She will select 25 students to meet and hear input on the prizes, food, and ticket price. There are 500 members of the senior class. She selects every 10th student as they get off the bus one morning. Is that a random sample? No, it's not, because she only selected the students that get off the bus in the morning. So this is not a random sample. It only includes people or students getting off the bus in the morning. So it only includes students who ride the bus. B, she asked her choir director to allow her to survey the choir. This is not a random sample. Can anybody tell me why? It's because she's only surveyed members of the choir. Includes only there students who are members of the choir. C, she meets with a counselor who selects every 20th student on the school roster. This is a random sample because it includes all students. D, She assigns each senior a number and randomly selects 25 numbers. This is a random sample because every senior had the opportunity to be selected. E. She makes an announcement that people interested should meet in the library after school. This is not a random sample. Because it only includes students who volunteered to participate. The last one, a roster of senior class is printed and each student's name is put into a hat. The principal selects 25 names. This is a random sample. Because every senior had the opportunity to be selected. Use your understanding of random sampling to answer the question below. Number 2, the public library is considering changing their hours to better support their patrons' needs. They decided to survey their patrons, asking when they typically visit the library. Describe how you could select a random sample of 50 library patrons. Okay, we could use the computer, right? Use the computer to generate a list of patrons. And then randomly select 50 to survey.